Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Seamless Knitting Podcast, episode 6. I'm Christina Pretty, your host, and today is Saturday, March the 23rd, 2024, here in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. You can find me and all of my seamless knitwear designs on Ravelry. You can also find me on Facebook and my website and Instagram. Everything I talk about today will be linked in the show notes below, as well as my email address and my mailing address in case you'd like to get in touch with me. Today's topic is a Easter spring theme, but before we start, pour yourself a drink and grab your knitting or whatever project you're working on, and let's SSK for a bit. I'm not drinking tea today. I've just got a bottle of water because I'm a little dehydrated from either forgetting to drink or drinking too much tea. So anyways, I just want to say that you probably noticed that I'm sitting in a different location than I have been in the past. I just thought today would be a nice day to sit in the living room. It's a little brighter here. We are getting sunshine during the days, and thought spring was here, but it's not. It snowed last night, and so we still got some cold, snowy days here, but it should be gone hopefully by the end of April. I always say that the day I always know that winter's finally over is April 25th. That's my son's birthday. And I haven't seen snow past that date in my lifetime, but I know other people have. But that's kind of once April 25th is over, then summer's on its way. So anyways, it won't be much longer, another month, and hopefully sooner than later. Anyways, so I'd like to announce the winner from last month's podcast draw. And every podcast I like to do a free draw for one of my patterns that I'm talking about in the podcast. So the winner from that, I will put the link here, picture here of the winner so that you can see her name, and just in case I'm not pronouncing it properly or saying it properly, but it is at Alana Barker QG4JE. So congratulations, Alana. You have won the Speckles and Stripes tee, which is this pattern here. And it's actually a segue into what I am wearing. So let's go into that, what I'm wearing. So this is the Speckles and Stripes tee. Its pattern is on Ravelry now, and all the details and information about the pattern is on there. You can also watch my last podcast, episode 5, for a thorough overview of the t-shirt, as well as the children's version, which is the Sprinkles and Stripes tee. And that is this one here. You will also, along with that, you'll see all the beautiful colorways that the Cotton Supreme Waves comes in. And if you have any questions, you can please leave them in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So I won't go into any more details on that, but that's what I'm wearing. So today I want to talk about some finished objects. And the first one that I want to talk about is an Easter themed one. And it's my little, I want to call it not little, it's not too little. I have two different versions here. This is called the Bunny Square, and I want to say that it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's by, now I'm just going to put the name here because I can't pronounce it. It starts off with Fleur, Fleur, dot van, that's V-A-N, and the other name I can't pronounce is E-I-J-K. So I just want to show that pattern here for a minute. So this is the pattern here, and it's showing you all the pictures and diagrams and all the instructions, plus some more instructions, and it is in a different language as well. So anyway, so that's the free pattern for the bunny square. So let's just talk a little bit about this one. So this is my white bunny, sort of off-white, creamy white bunny. And I knit this with some chenille yarn. And it's very, very soft and squishy. And it's very thick and plump, and it's really cute. And I put a little faux fur pom-pom on for the tail at the back. Now, you could use some of the Bernat blanket yarn. That would be probably a great alternative for this project. So basically, you're knitting a square, and you can use any yarn that you would like to use for your bunny, and you're just going to cast on some stitches until you get it to the width that you would like it, sort of like get an idea for size, and you're going to just knit in garter stitch till you have a complete square. So you can measure the width, you know, horizontally the width of the square to get your measurement, and then you'll measure the length of it, the height, and make sure it's exactly the same, and then you know you got a complete square. Or you can take one corner of the square and fold it to the other corner, and if it reaches the other corner completely square, that's all you have to do. And then you would cast off your stitches and weave in your ends so that you would have your piece of fabric ready. And then you're going to follow the instructions in the pictures that are in this pattern, and all they're getting you to do is basically you're using this picture here and you're basting a triangle from the top of the fabric out to the edges and across and back up. And so you're basting a triangle so that you can cinch in the triangle, and that is going to create the head and the ears of the bunny. The bottom half of the triangle, or sorry, the bottom half of the square will be the body of the bunny. It's so simple to do, but it's so cute. Sorry, I've just got a call coming in on my phone, and I can't see anything that's going on, so we'll just see if I can get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so what I've done is I've given it a little bit of character in the face. So I've added some safety eyes on this one, and I pushed them in quite far and dinted them in a little bit and give it this rounded nose and sort of this little dimple under the chin. So I kind of stitched there to give it a little dimple, and it's got some chubby cheeks, and then you can see the chubby cheeks sticking out right there on the side, and then the eyes are way in there, and it's got this little bit of a head here, and the other one's on the other side. It just gives it a little bit of character in the face to make it look like a really cute bunny. And then the ears just kind of flop over like that. I guess if you wanted them to stand up, you could probably put a little bit of wire in there, I guess, but I think they look cute just the way they are. And the body and the little furry tail. Now that is like a faux fur, but you could just make a pom-pom and put on there as well. And you're just going to use some polyester stuffing to stuff the body part and the head part. That's all it's stuffed. And then it can just sit. And when you're holding it, it just looks like, you hold it like this, it looks like you're holding a real little bunny. It's so cute. And I think the kids would love it too. And they could even make one, you know, and help you make them. So anyways, that's my first version of the bunny, and it's a big one. And I was able to use all the yarn and get one nice bunny out of it. So we'll put that aside. And so you can get that free pattern online. Now here is my second little version of the bunny. This is my little pink bunny, and it's really cute too. And I give it a little different position for sitting. Instead of sitting down and laying down the way the other one was, I give this one a little, it's sitting up. Okay, so it could have been down like this. I guess it could still be, but you would have to put the pom-pom on this end, and I put it up here because I wanted it to be one that was sit up, straight up. So this one was just done out of some scrap pink yarn, and like I said, you can use any thickness of yarn, and whether it be fingering weight, DK, worsted weight, chunky weight, any weight, just use the appropriate needles to match your yarn and knit the fabric so you like the fabric the way it is. You can't go wrong with, you don't need to do gauge or anything with this project. It's just very, very simple square. And then when you're done, you do the same thing again. You use a basting stitch and make that triangle, and the triangle in the center is the head, and the 2 points are these little ears here. And I just stuff the body. And this time around, I just use a cotton ball to put on for the tail. And I added a cute little ribbon around its neck to just give it some cuteness. And this time I embroidered some French knots for the eyes. Again, I put them in and gave it the rounded head there and the chubby cheeks. And then I just embroidered a cute little nose on the end with a little mouth, and did a little stitch under the chin to give it some definition. And the other thing that I did that's really cute on here, I used, and I don't know if you can see them, but they're there, is these little tiny whiskers that I use with some quilting thread, and I just stitched a few of those on. I think I just did 4 on each side, and they're just hanging hairs down off the face, and it just looks kind of cute that way. So that's my little stand-up bunny. So it would just, you know, stand up like that and on the table. So I have the big one laying down, and I have this cute little one standing up. So that's a couple different positions that you can put them in to put on display. So that's from that pattern. But there's also a crocheted version. So let me just show you that. This pattern is called Crochet a Square to Make a Bunny, and it's by Julie Black Designs, and it's also a free pattern on Ravelry. So there's the pattern there. So it shows you a picture of the bunny there and the square that's in the other picture. And this is, let me see how many pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages long. Has all the instructions, and then it shows you here the picture of the square that they crocheted, and then this picture shows you the triangle they basted. Okay, and then the next picture here is how they've cinched it in and stuffed the head. And then the last picture here is the last couple pictures. There's a picture of the body and the tail. And then the last picture is just a picture of them finished. So there you have it. So there's another free pattern on Ravelry for the crochet, if you're a crocheter. So you have the knit version and the crochet version, and they don't take very long to do. So you could easily make a few of those before Easter, which is a week away. Yeah, because today's Saturday, so a week from tomorrow is Easter, and you still have time to make some of these if you wanted to. So just knit up some squares and have some stuffing on hand, and you'll have those for gift giving, even for the grandchildren. Okay, let me see. The next thing that I want to talk about that I've made, thinking of spring and thinking of gardening and all the flowers that are going to be popping up, and I just thought it would be nice to have a bouquet of flowers. So I have made, and I'll show you my arrangement. This is a crocheted project now. I'll just show you what it looks like. So here's the vase. It's green, and here is the arrangement. I'm just turning it around so that you can see it, and I will probably pop up a picture here as well of it so that you can get a better view of it than me just holding it here, but I'm just going to explain it. So anyway, so what I've done is I've crocheted these lavenders. So this is lavender, okay, and I got the pattern on, let me see, the crochet pattern I got on Instagram from, this is the name, and I think it's Mushy, MUSHYY-1. So I will put that name here as well. And the pattern is free. She shows you exactly the pattern and how to make them. And it looks so simple. I thought I've got to make some of those. So I will add, if you can't find it, I will add the pattern to the description box below. I will type it out and put it there so that you have it, and then you can make some as well. So in this vase, I started out with the crocheted lavenders, and so I just used a crochet hook and found some shades of purpley and blue and sort of a mixture of pinks and purples yarns, and sometimes I would hold them single, and well, I actually doubled them up. Some of them were thin, so I doubled them up, and then a few of them I've just taken one strand of maybe a purple and a blue together, sort of to give it different colors rather than the same color in the bouquet, so it looks like some are popping out new and some are look like they're dying off, and you know, just to give it a different look. So after I made them, you make them, and then you get some floral wires and a glue gun, and you glue the top to the top part of the lavender to the wire, and then you just twirl it around and around and around the wire, and at the end you glue it closed, and it just spirals on itself, and all these little lavender buds all appear. So each one of these is a little lavender bud, and they really look real. So yes, they are a bit thicker than what lavender actually is as the flower and plant itself. But I think if you use thinner yarn and a smaller crochet hook, you could get that that where they look real. Now, some people have seen my bouquet this week and they thought they looked real, so I thought that was pretty good. So anyways, they're just on floral wire. I didn't put tape on them or anything because I have the green vase which camouflages the wire, so I didn't feel I had to do that. But I guess if you were using a different color vase, that might be necessary. Anyways, I made 7 of them, so I have 7 of these, and then I went out into the garden, and I have some perennial beds and stuff, but everything of course is cut down and dead and nothing's there yet. But the magnolia tree was budding the pussy willows, so I took a couple branches of these pussy willows here, and I went around the garden and found some dried up old centers from either echinacea or some of, maybe it was black-eyed Susans or something. And so I just grabbed a couple of those, and then there were some other flowers that had some little brown centers from flowers, and these are all dried. And so I just grabbed a couple of those. And then the last thing that I did was I went down to Michael's craft store, and they had 60% off on all their silk flowers. So I was looking around, and when I saw these purple hydrangeas, I thought, yeah, that's what I want. That will look great in the vase, because I just needed one sprig of it. And off that sprig, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hydrangeas, and they have the shape of the strawberry ones that are real, and so they're shaped very nicely. They look pretty good for fake hydrangeas, and with the purple and cream, it just gave the color I needed to pop these lavenders and the green leaves. It just brought it all together, and I thought it looked pretty good. So that is now my spring bouquet, and the best thing about it is you don't have to water it. So but yeah, you can see the different shades I've put in here with the pink and the purple together, just to give it some just a difference to make it look more real than all the same. And because they're on wires, the lavender, I bent them so that some were bent in different directions, and as you can see here, how I've done this one, and I just bent them and put them in there, and just made the arrangement. So anyways, I'll pop a picture here if I haven't already, and you can see it in all its glory. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. So anyways, that's something. So you can actually bring your knitting and crocheting into your home decor, which I really like. And there are a lot of other crocheted flowers out there that you can make as well. I just found these very fast and easy. I could make them all in no time, and put something together like this. And it would be really nice if you even took that to somebody who was in the hospital and you want to cheer them up, and they would have that forever, you know. So something to make. So that's the floral arrangement with the crocheted lavender, and I will put the instructions on the description, but you can find them on Instagram under the name Mushy. Okay, so let me see what else. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you is another craft that I've done, and I got these inspirations from Pinterest. So Pinterest is a good place to go if you're wanting some ideas and something quick and easy. And basically I just looked up yarnI projects, or things that you can make with leftover yarns. I have so many leftover yarns, I just needed to do something with them. Anyways, I'm going to be hosting Easter here a week from now, and my whole family will be here. And I wanted to give something to my grandchildren, but they're too young right now for candy and for Easter egg hunts or anything like that. So I thought it would make them something special that they could treasure forever, hopefully. And hopefully their parents will like it too. So anyways, I have made, let me just show you here. So these are plywood letters covered in yarn, and they are the initials of my grandchildren. So the first one I want to show you is the letter E. Okay, so this is these letters are made out of plywood, and you could also use very thick corrugated cardboard if you didn't have plywood, and then you would just cut out your stencil of the letter that you are going to cover, and then find your yarn, and all you need is a glue gun. So I must say though, these are very time consuming. I was exhausted after making them, and I think I was standing at the kitchen counter for hours and my back started hurting. So anyways, I wouldn't suggest to do them all at one time. I think it took me maybe 3 or 4 days to do all these, and you can stop them at any time too. You don't have to do complete one in one time frame or anything. You can stop and start them whenever you want, because you can just put a dab of glue and put your yarn attached and stop if you want to, and carry on when you feel like doing them. So anyways, I just thought I would show you these. So basically they started off with the piece of plywood like this. So this is, I believe, 1/4 inch thick plywood. Okay, so that's pretty thick, and I like the plywood better than cardboard. I think it's a lot easier to do because you have the sturdiness of it. It's not going to bend, so I think you would need really good thick cardboard, or I know they have those corrugated plastic boards at the dollar store, so even something like that might be a good idea to get instead of the cardboard, because it could bend a little bit and might be frustrating when you're trying to wrap the yarn onto it. So something strong, and then just trace your letters out and cut them out, and you're all set to go. So I have these plywood letters. Now you can do just a letter if you want to, or you can do words. Now I'm going to put some pictures here of the inspiration that I found on Pinterest, just to give you an idea what I'm talking about. They will show you how they were wrapped, each letter, and you can do whatever you want with them. I'll explain how I did mine in a minute, because I'm kind of, I don't know, OCD or perfectionist, whatever, and that's probably why it took me forever, because I just didn't wrap it any old way and be done with it. But anyways, I just want to show you that there was a word there, and you'll see it. And of course, being a knitter, my eyes were drawn to the word knit right away, and so of course I had to have the whole word knit so that I can do it too. So here's the letter K, and here's the letter N, and the letter I, and the letter T. So now I have those to do. But after I finished these letters for my grandchildren, I need a break. I thought, oh no, I still have all those other letters to do, but I will get at them at some point, but just not right now. I need a bit of a break. So Anyways, here's the letter E that I did, and this is for my granddaughter Eloise. And so what I did is I got some dark peachy coral color, and so I started with that color, and then I used this variegated color, and in the variegated color there's purples and blues and teals and the same coral and yellow and green. There's a variety of colors there, as you can see, which just kind of broke it up and made it look really nice. So when I started these letters, I started holding it sideways, and I put a little dab of glue in the corner and one little dab here and one little dab there. And then I attached my yarn and I went up here and then over and down the back and back up around, and you just kind of line up the yarn strands beside each other as best you can without leaving gaps, so that you see the plywood behind. You don't want to see the plywood, so you're covering up the plywood, and you're just going to wrap and wrap and wrap. And every once in a while I'll add a dab of glue here and here, wherever, just to keep them tight and anchored onto the plywood, so they're not going to be loose, and so that they will stay nicely. So I wrapped and wrapped and wrapped till I got to this break right here. So I did straight down with that color and ended it and cut the yarn. So that is going all the way over the top and the bottom and the front and the back. So then I started with the next color, the variegated color, and did the same thing. Added a bit of glue in the tops, bottom and top, and then go around and add a few dots as I was going. Sometimes I would add dots of glue on the front and then some on the back, just to anchor the threads that were being wrapped onto the plywood. So then I went over and finished with that color there. And then I had this section again to do, and it's the same as this one. So I did that section, and then I did another section like this section here, and then the last section was here. So you can see that there's 3 sections, and that was easy to do, and these 2 sections are easy to do. But then I was looking at it and thought, oh, I'm done, but no, I'm not done. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you can see the plywood up here, and you can see it on this edge and this edge and this bottom edge, and it wasn't covered. And I thought, oh my gosh, I gotta do them too. So I thought, how am I gonna do this? So anyways, I cut 4 strands and laid them out the length of this onto the counter. So I laid 4 strands out. And then I just dabbed some glue in different spots, and then I took the whole 4 pieces and laid it over the top as quickly as I could, because you know how fast the glue gun dries, the glue from the glue gun dries. So I did it very quickly, dabbed it all on very quickly, and then when I had to finish off the corners, I just cut, just a little bit longer than the length of the top on both ends, cut it, and then I just added a bit of glue onto those raw edges and smoothed it down with my fingers, so it went around the corner and went and attached nicely to these sides. So the corners are all completely finished. So that's one edge done. And then of course you turn it upside down, you have this inner edge to do, you have this side to do, this side, and the top side. So it was so time consuming. I thought, what have I started? Anyways, not to turn you off from doing them or anything. It's just that I have never done this before. And then I started looking at the ones that were in the picture, and I could just see they were just wrapping them any old way and being done with it. Some spots were even showing and what have you, and some were really thickened spots because they had to get around corners. So if you were to do something like that, you would, you'd be coming around, and then you'd have this corner to do. And I just found it very hard to wrap the yarn going this way when you've got the the points here, the yarn would not stay on there. So I thought, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to have to do it this way. And so this is very neatly done, and it has been very time consuming, but I'm really happy with the outcome, and I think they look very, I don't know, really finished and polished, and I think they'll last a long time, and they will look great in the room, and they just have a really nice appearance to them too. So I'm very happy with them. They look the same on both sides, so either side is good. I made sure that it would look good on both sides. And so anyways, that's how I did the letter E for Eloise. Now, she has a twin sister. They're not identical twins, and they're only about 8 months old. So I had to do one for her, of course. And because they share a bedroom, I thought I would do them the same, but her name is Adelina. So I did the letter A for her. And again, I thought, here we go. So when I started this one, I started at this side, as you can see, and I worked my way across here till I came to that divide. And then I had to cut a bunch of yarn off the ball so that I could wrap it in here and around and keep feeding it through this hole. So that was a bit of a chore. So again, you're wrapping and you're keeping all your wraps evenly spaced so that you don't see any plywood. So I'm wrapping through this hole. And so then I did the other side the same. So that went to that section. So we're at this section now. And the ones that I saw in the pictures, I couldn't, I thought, how am I going to get from here over to here the way, you know, all in orange? It would have been, you know, some were all done in one color, orange all the way down, say. And then you only had this middle section where you'd wrap a different color if you wanted to, like I have here. But I thought, there's no way I can do all that. It's not going to work. So I thought, I am going to run the variegated color straight across this way, and that way it'll make it easier, and everything is so lined up and perfect and straight. So that's what I did. So this section is by itself, and this section is by itself, and same with this section here, and then these ones were that cut the yarn and went through the hole for these two sections. So again, it's the same on both sides. And then I had to do the top and the inside here and the two bottom parts to finish the letter A, the way I mentioned it before, by laying the strands on top and gluing them. So anyways, those are for Eloise and Adelina. So those are my two letters for them for Easter, the set of twins. Okay, so then I had another letter to do, another letter E to do, and this is for my grandson, Emerson. And so again, that was easy because I'd already done one, so I knew what I was doing, and it went a little quicker. So I worked this way and did all the green sections, and then I did these two little variegated sections. And then of course, all the tops and inner sides of all the bottoms and that. But again, I think it looks pretty good, and it's all neat and tidy on both sides, and that will be for Emerson. Okay, the last one that I had to do was for my granddaughter Leah. Now L is a pretty plain letter, and so I did it all in a very light peach, but because there wasn't any variations to make it colorful, I added some silk flowers to this one. So there's letter L in a light peachy color because her bedroom's sort of a peachy kind of I can't explain the color, but it's sort of a peachy rosy color. And I thought this would look nice in her room. And so I just added some silk flowers to it, and I just glued them on, and they have the little centers in them. And it just kind of gives it a little bit of a feminine, pretty touch to it, and so it's not so boring. And it's plain. So this is what it would look like if it didn't have anything on it, and it's kind of boring, and I didn't know what else to do with it. So I just thought that would make sense. So I only had this little section and the top little section and the bottom section to do. Now, you can either lean these against, put them on a dresser and lean them against the wall. They had them where you could just put a hook on the back and hang them on the wall. They've also added a ribbon. So you could add a little ribbon there, you know, go a nice little ribbon with a bow, and then you can hang that, the bow up on to the wall and have it hanging that way. I've also seen them hanging from shaker pegs and that, just to decorate the walls. So anyways, I thought it was a really cute idea. So anyways, so those are my letters for the grandchildren for Easter. And what else? Okay. So I don't have any, I have a lot, I should say. I have a lot of works in progress, but nothing to show you at this time. I'm working on some new designs, and I'll show them to you when I get a little bit more on them. I've been busy knitting samples up of things I'm going to demonstrate to some of the, when I'm teaching classes and things, I'm going to use them for, you know, showing different things and techniques and skills that are in my sweater. So I've been working on preparing for classes that I'm going to teach. So I've got to get back into my other knitting now with the things that I'm designing. So I always have works in progress. Anyways, but I will show you one more finished, one of the finished projects from the samples that I've been working on. And I just thought I'd show you this little sweater because I thought it might be something you would like to do. So this here sweater is a size 1, and it's just a little raglan pullover sweater. And I didn't do any German short rows on this because it is a size 1, and you know, kids don't have to have the German short rows done for them to wear a sweater. They're not really bothered by the neckline and how it fits, so I didn't bother with this one. I used the Wool Ease by Lion Brand for the double folded over collar. So this does have a double folded over collar, and that is in the solid color. I think the color was called Still Water. So I used that for the collar, and I also used it for the cuffs down here, and also for the hem. So the collar, the cuffs, and the hem are done in Still Water, Woolies Lion Brand. And the rest of the sweater is done with the Wool Ease Floral yarn. And I did show you this in one of my podcasts past with my Knitovative top and my dress. I did show you those. So if you want to see more of this yarn being used and how it knits up and the different colors that it comes in, check out my other podcast. I'm not sure which one it was. Yeah, I'm not sure which one it was now. I only have this one here will make 6, so there's not too many to go back on to find it. But anyways, there's this Farrow yarn is the aquamarine color, and so it went really nicely with this Still Water as a contrast color. So I started from the top down.
So I did so many rows of 1 by 1 rib for the collar and then folded it over. And I usually pick up the cast on edge along with the stitch that's on the needle to seam it together so that you still have your live stitches to work from when you're doing the rest of the sweater. So that's what I did there. And then I got right into the floral yarn and I started doing the increases, and I just did a knit one front and back because I wanted a very fine line for the raglan seams so that it wouldn't take away from the yoke and the rest of the sweater of the ferrule and break it up too much. So I just did a knit one front and back, and I think it blended in quite nicely. And so when I was done that and did the dividing of the sleeves, I just continued on with the rest of the yarn that I had. This was just leftovers from another project, so I just continued on. And as you can see, right where this dark green line ends is where the Fair Isle yarn ended. So then I just continued on with, and I started the ribbing with that solid color there. And then I just continued on with the ribbing with the Woolies still water color. So it blended in really nicely. And then I had 2 smaller little balls that were left over, and they were exactly the same and the same amount of yarn in them. And I started here, and because the light green line is where the yarn ended on the ferrule before I split for sleeves. And then the next color just started right after the green into this dark turquoise until the very end, and it ended here, and then I started the cuff. So it worked out perfect. These 2 little balls made exactly the same sleeves, so they're identical, and everything worked out perfectly. Now the Fair Woolies yarn is not perfect as far as looking like a real Fair Isle sweater that you would do by hand and put in proper colors for each stitch on the graph. But anyways, it's pretty good for a cheater sweater and easy to work up and very quick. And yeah, so that's all I did for that. I did, the body is just straight, and there's just a 1 by 1 rib hem on the bottom, and the sleeves were just picked up, and there was some decreases done along the arm for some shaping, and then just a 1 by 1 ribbed cuff as well. So anyways, it's a cute sweater. So there's the front of it, and here's the back of it. Yeah. So I will put out, there's going to be a pattern, I think might be the adult version, where we are doing different ones, and I'll show you those at a later time, and what we're doing with that. So anyways, that's just a little sweater that I finished. Okay, so I have a couple acquisitions here, not very much, but a couple. So the Skacell company that sent me 2 crazy zobber balls. Now I was looking for some DK weight sock yarn and some worsted weight sock yarn because I really don't want to knit with the fine sock yarn anymore. I find socks take forever, and I just thought, well, DK weight would be the next best thing because you can wear the socks still in your shoes, and they're not as bulky, but it's a little quicker to knit up and less stitches to work on. And the same with the worsted weight. Now the worsted weight socks would be great for boots, or just walking around the house, or just to wear in the house, or bed socks or whatever. But anyways, these are 75% superwash. I said superwash wool. Let me just check. Yeah, 75% virgin wool and 25% nylon. So this first ball I'm going to show you is the DK weight yarn. It's 150 gram balls. There's 400 meters in the ball, and I'm not sure what color this is. I think it's just, there's so many numbers on here, I can't really tell you what number it is, but I can show you the color. Anyways, I'm not a green fan, but this is what they sent me. So for me to experiment with. These yarns remind me of the spin cycle yarn. So they are yarns that have been spun together with different colors. So when you're looking at the yarn, you will see, you know, a gray yarn here with lime green. It's like a barber pole. When you see the barber pole, how it spirals around the yarn, that's exactly what this yarn is. There'll be a different color and like one color and then another color twisted around it, and all different colors throughout the whole ball. So you'll see multiple colors in this ball of yarn, and it's pretty amazing when you look at it and all the different shades. So, and this one here, that's the DK weight version, and this one here is the worsted weight version. This is a 50 gram ball, and again it is, let me see, they are 75% virgin wool and 25% nylon as well. And this is a 50 gram ball, and there's 115 meters. So it's a lot smaller ball, but it is worsted weight. And you can see all the colors in that. There's teal and gray and beige and dark gray and pink. I can see the little pops of pink and gray and green. They're all different colors going through here. So I think these will be great to knit up, but what I really want, like I would like to make socks with them, of course, but what I think these will be great for as well, and I'm gonna post a picture here so that you can see my idea, is I really like the look of those yoke sweaters that are the Farrell sweaters, where they have a solid background and they've used one of these balls to do the chart work, to do the Farrell knitting with. And so you would only be using the two colors, your background color and this color, for doing the color work. And you can just see the whole pattern changing colors as it goes. And like, it's really, really neat. And I'll post a picture here and you can see what I'm talking about and what I envision for one of these yarns. Now, I'm not going to use this particular color in a sweater. I will order some so that I can get the color that I want for a sweater. I'll probably use this in something, whether it be socks or something else. But here's the little color chart, how the colors come out. You can see here on the band how it looks. So, and this one here too, but it's kind of dark. Anyways, this ball here would be the perfect size for doing maybe a child size version of that color work yoke sweater. I think there would be enough there to do a child size of 50 gram balls, and this is worsted weight. So anyways, that's my thoughts and plans and ideas for these beauties. So anyways, so there's that. And the other thing is, I was commissioned to do a Farrell sweater, child size, for a lady. A couple weeks ago I finished it, and she wanted it done for her granddaughter for Easter, and it was a size 4 sweater, so I finished that for her. And of course, she paid me for doing the job, but I also was given this knitting book from her with a very nice thank you card. So I have a nice thank you card here that she gave me for doing the sweater. She was very pleased with it. And also this knitting book, and it's called Beyond the Scarf. There's 15 simple and fun fashions you can knit. And this is by Kathleen Greco and Nick Greco. So anyways, there's that, and it's just a nice colorful book with all kinds of patterns in it. So anyways, I thought it was very nice of her as a thank you to me for doing that for her. So that is that. Now a little life update. That's it for the contents of this program today, but I'm only going to be a few more minutes, and just to say that Easter is coming, and I am having my whole family here for Easter dinner, and the grandchildren will be here, so it'll be quite busy. If everyone comes, there'll be 14 of us. There's 4 grandchildren, like I said, and the rest are adults. So these are my children. I have 4 children, grown children, and their wives and their kids. So that will be fun on Sunday. I'm looking forward to doing that for them. And the other thing, last weekend, a few of the ladies and I went to, we rented a cottage, and it was really nice to get away. The cottage isn't too far from here. It's only like a 20-minute drive, and right on the water. I think they have 6 or 8 cottages there that they rent, and it was really nice. And I'll be posting some pictures here, so when this is over, you can see all the photos of the cottage. So it was really nice just to get away. I really needed that break, and so did they. And so we just had a nice time of fellowship, and some knitting, of course, and lots of great food, and we went for walks. And of course they have a hot tub there, so we were in and out of that a few times, and it was just really nice. And then in the evenings we'd play this horse race game, which was really fun, and of course we were betting on the horses and playing for nickels, so that was fun. And so it was really nice to get away. So I will have the pictures, like I said, inserted here so that you can see the outside, the inside, and what it was all about. So we had a great time, and I think we are going to rent it again, and with, soon, maybe April or May, and do it one more time before the nice weather gets here. So that's what we've done, and since the last podcast. So anyways, I think that's everything today. I wanted to keep within the hour, and I think I have, so that's great. So I hope you have a great Easter as well. And I thank you so much for watching me today and spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. And it's really nice to get to know people and getting to know more about this knitting community. And I look forward to reading your comments if you'd like to leave some. If you have any questions about anything, if I haven't left it in the show notes, just please ask. I would be happy to send you that information. And if you like the content that you've seen today, please like and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already, so that you'll be, and hit the bell, because you'll be notified for the next one. I'm not sure when the next one will be. It'll be in April sometime. I'm trying to do one a month, but I just never do it. I'm not consistent with the days and times that I do it, so that's why it's important, I guess, for the notification bell, so that you will, so you won't miss anything. And share it with your friends as well, so they can see what's going on in the knitting world. And otherwise, I would wish you well, and keep knitting, and we will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.